Coming up on the Geno Auriemma Show, presented by UConn Health.
I wish I had 5 cents for every time somebody let somebody go that way in the last 30 years. You wouldn't have to work for the rest of your life.
As we head down the stretch in the regular season, where does each player stand according to a demanding coach?
Katie Lou, 21 points per game. Does that impress you?
No.
What about Kia Nurse? Are you happy with the progress she's made?
I would say no.
Also, we go inside the coach's mind in Geno On.
I don't know what causes it. Is it mental? Is it the pressure?
And we're giving you another all-access peek in Geno Wired.
We're dumb. Dumb teams don't go very far in March.
All that and more on the Geno Auriemma Show.
In the beginning of the year, Coach, we went down the roster. We went over each player, what you thought of them. Now we kind of want a status report. We know you love stats. We want to start with Katie Lou, 21 points per game. Does that impress you?
No.
You want more?
No. Not necessarily. Lou was in my office the other day. I said, do you know that you have less than 1 offensive rebound per game? And she's like, she kind of lowers her head. And I said, Lou, if you accidentally ran towards the basket 2 more times during the course of the game, one of them might fall into your hands. That's how ridiculous this number is. So how many points somebody scores? Obviously, that's important. For me, I'm looking at what are the kind of things that don't take a lot of talent that we should be doing. That's how you create this mentality among players that I want to be a great player. Well, Lou already knows she's a great scorer. The question now is, Lou, you want to be a great player? Or you just want to be a great scorer?
A lot of people like to put her and Brianna Stewart in the same category.
Yeah.
What's the similarity there, you think?
Not much. I don't think there's a lot of similarities. I think their approach to the game might be the same. Mm-hmm. They're both pretty smart. They both know the game pretty well. They both are able to handle themselves in most situations. But I don't think they're in the same category. I don't think Lou will ever get as many steals as Stewie got, as many blocks as Stewie got, as many rebounds as Stewie got. I don't think she can score as easily as Stewie did. So to compare her with Stewie, that's just, you know, whoever those people are that are comparing the two, they're way off the mark.
Why are there certain players that you feel you need to be tougher on?
Can't give you a heart, Lou. I can draw a picture of one, but I can't give you one.
And in that regard, you've been tough on Katie Lou, and you were tough on Brianna when she first got here.
You know, I wish I was as hard on Lou as I have been on some of my other players. The ones that have the most to give, mm-hmm. That means you have to demand more.
Lou, you can't miss those.
You know, they say if you want something done, go to somebody that's always busy, always doing things. You know, that whole thing about 20% of the people do 80% of the work. So anytime you want something done, go to one of those 20%. So on our team, if you really need something more to be done, go after Lou a little bit. Go after Fisa a little bit.
What difference does it make how many points you score, Fisa, if the other team always scores when you're around the basket?
Go after Gabby a little bit.
Gabby, where you going?
Go after Kia a little bit.
Kia, doesn't do us any good if he's allowed to catch it. That's pointless.
They've been there before, they've done that, and now you're saying all the time, I need more from you. Otherwise, if you go to the other guys that have never done it and have never been there, you're wasting your time.
Let's move down the list. Nafisa Collier, did you think she'd be this good?
Yes. This quickly? Not sure. But this good? Absolutely.
If there's one thing you could change about her, what would it be? Because she's been pretty consistent.
Incredibly consistent. Incredibly consistent. Matter of fact, the two you just named, Lou and Fisa, it's pretty comforting as a coach. You go, okay, we're going to start every game with 40 points, 20 there and 20 there, almost like clockwork. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty comforting, that kind of consistency. What would I change about Fisa? I would like for her to speak. Like I want to hear a sound come out of her mouth. At this point, I don't even care what it is. So until she learns to communicate verbally mm-hmm. with some of her teammates, that's the next big step for her, the ability to communicate. She's just a very reserved, introverted kind of person.
What about Kia Nurse? Are you happy with the progress she's made in 3 years?
I would say no. And I would tell you that Kia would probably agree with me on that.
Seriously. Kia Nurse, where'd you just go?
I think Kia is a little bit disappointed right now about how long it took her to get going this season. And some of that is all on her. Some of it is just circumstances. I don't think it's anybody's fault. I think she was trying so hard to be so good that it ultimately was counterproductive for a while. And now, hopefully, she has settled in.
Yeah, she's hit her stride.
She has settled in, and I like to now really see her take a huge jump.
Want to find out more about your UConn Huskies?
Definitely.
Go to sny.tv/UConn for an inside look.
I'm kind of a little bit of a nerd, and she's okay with it. Oh my gosh.
We'll be back with more of the Geno Auriemma Show.
I don't know what causes it. Is it mental? Is it physically they just get tired? Is it the pressure of having to perform every day? Is it playing poorly a couple times and then losing your confidence? I don't know what the wall is, but I've seen it in every freshman at some point. You just don't know when. You just hope it doesn't come in March. But generally speaking, freshmen that come in and they work really, really, really hard, they don't seem to be as affected by the wall. And I also think if you come in as a role player, you're not affected by the wall at all. Because you just come out and you do your 10 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever the case may be, and you get through the year in great shape. If there's a lot of expectations on you and the team really needs you to be successful and you have to do a lot of things, that wall's coming, and it's coming soon, and it's big, and it's hard to push through.
While we're talking about freshmen, you have also talked about if Crystal can be up to speed, mm-hmm. how crucial she'll be mm-hmm. in March. Mm-hmm. Has she shown you that as a point guard, she can take control of the team?
Can she? Mm-hmm. I think she has the ability to.
Dangerfield hands it off to Collier.
Yeah, she certainly has the ability to. I think most freshmen are not sure if they can. They don't know if they can or not. There's a little bit of doubt in their minds. I think her ability is way ahead of her maturity right now.
Crystal's going to drive me crazy, but she's good.
She's good. She's really good.
She's good, but she's going to drive me crazy.
So when those two things sync up, I think we'll have something really, really good. Right now, she just, in the next month and a half, she needs to grow up a lot. And if she does, then we got something good going on.
Let's talk about the other freshmen, Molly Bent and Kyla Irwin. Do you think they're starting to grasp what this program is all about?
Well, mostly they've been grasping the edge of the wall so they don't fall into the abyss, because this is so overwhelming to them, what's going on out there.
More so than other freshmen that you've had in the past?
Probably so. Probably so. Because, not to be disrespectful or anything like that, but you've seen the flashes from Crystal Dangerfield, why everybody in America wanted her to go to school there. You've never said that about Molly or about Kyla. They don't have that overwhelming kind of talent that allows you to just function right away. And then it's just a matter of catching up. So for them, it's got to be a period of time where they're going to have to feel comfortable within what we're doing. And that takes a while. That takes a while. Just in the last 2 weeks, Kyla's come on. You know, she's come on.
Irwin for 2.
And she has to understand, this is what I'm really good at, and this is what I'm not. This is what I used to be good at in high school. This is what I'm not. I'll give you a perfect example. She had a wide open shot in practice the other day, and she passed it up. Shot fake, drive, pass it, got it back, turned around in the lane, and got her shot blocked from here to Willimantic. And I said to her, I said, why would you not shoot a wide open shot and then think you could shoot over a 6'6" kid right behind you? And the look was like, because that's what I did in high school. I would just take the ball, go in the lane, and score with people. So once you start to realize that this isn't high school, this is college. This is where I'm good. This is where that other guy's way better than me. That takes time. That just takes time. And with Molly, Molly might be the fastest player that we have from that foul line to that foul line with the ball. Just go. Now, what happens along the way once she gets there? That's a different story. And she's another one. I think, you know, the ability to just stay within yourself and just do this instead of trying to be like everything, it just takes time.
Are they on the right path, though, to be groomed for their sophomore year?
For whatever that means, yes. Both of them, yeah. Because they're real, look, they're really, really great people. They work really, really hard. They have all the right things that Connecticut players are supposed to have. They don't have the talent that the other guys on the team have. But that's okay. There's been a lot of kids that have played a lot of games at Connecticut that didn't have the talent that other kids had.
For Sanaya, her time is winding down here. Do you feel like you're at the point now where you can rely on her as a senior for her leadership down the stretch?
Leadership? You know, what we're starting to get from Sanaya is consistent play. And as long as coaches know what to expect, then we're good. We don't want this. And we're starting to get this from Sanaya, which is really good. Really, really good.
Call me crazy, but does she have a calming presence about her?
For who?
I don't know.
Who does she calm down?
I don't know. But she does kind of have this.
She makes everybody else nervous, but I don't know who she's calming down. But maybe she does. Because, again, she's a senior. She's seen a lot. But I don't think Sanaya puts enough pressure on herself because she's way better than people have seen. And, all right, I don't want to go out on a limb, okay? But I'm going to make a prediction. I would say in the next month and a half, Sanaya is going to turn out to be
Scared to say it?
She's going to turn out to be where people are going to go, wow, I didn't know she could do that. Where are you going? When that guy drives, what makes you think you're going all the way over there? Was he cutting? Yeah, he had already been over there. Really? Who ended up here wide open? Well, somebody that looks like him must have been over there. He was here. Hey, why pick it up? She's coming to set a ball screen for you. Right, you shot fake, you got him off your feet a little bit. I thought you were going to attack him. You decided not to. Wait on it. Don't pick it up for no reason. You overplayed back cut. And I wish I had 5 cents for every time somebody let somebody go that way in the last 30 years. You wouldn't have to work for the rest of your life. I'd rather you get beat 7 times in a row, him going right and scoring, because then you just go, you know what, he's just way better than everybody else. But when you let a guy beat you with the one thing he loves to do, part of it is he's good, the other part is we're dumb. Dumb teams don't go very far in March.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention Gabby Williams. She does a lot of the dirty work for this team. Mm-hmm. Is she the quintessential Geno type of player?
I don't know. I don't sense that. The Gabby that we see on her best days, she's impacting the game all the time, every possession. A defensive rebound, a block shot, a steal and a layup, an offensive rebound, put back, a great pass. I mean, she leads the team in assists. So there isn't an area on the floor where she hasn't impacted our team. And what more can you ask her to do? I like to see her really be confident in her own abilities to make 15-foot jump shots. If that comes, then you've got kind of a special player.
For a team that doesn't have a lot of size, Natalie Butler has that dynamic. She gives you 17 minutes a night. What do you need from her in those 17 minutes, and are you seeing it?
You know, the other day we were talking in the coaching staff, and we were trying to figure out going forward what scenarios are going to exist the rest of the season and then the tournament postseason. And obviously, some of these teams that we've already beaten, you got to believe that they're still going to be around, you know, in March. Hopefully, we still are by that time. But we might not have won the Florida State game without Nat. We might not have won the Baylor game without Nat. So there are games that Nat can be a real factor in the game. So we've got Fisa and we got Gabby. And they are the way they are. And Nat will never be like them. But the two of them will never be able to be 6'5" either and be able to affect, you know, the game the way that she does. So, yeah, when you've got something no one else on the team has, that's important.
Last but not least, let's talk about Tierney Lawler. She has kind of a special role on this team. For those who don't know much about the walk-ons, how would you describe T, as you call her?
Well, you know, when she arrived at Connecticut as a walk-on, you don't know what's going to happen then. You know, you get a kid to come down and you say, yeah, you know, I grew up in Connecticut, I watched the games on TV, I want that. And then they show up and after like, you know, 6 months, you can't wait to get rid of them because they just don't get it. But, you know, with T, it just became more and more and more and more where you're like, you know, this kid adds something. You know, you're not going to see it in the box score. You're not going to be able to feel it out there. But she adds something. And she's added a little more every year. And what does that mean? Like, what, more points, more rebounds, more? No. But there's a feeling on our team that if T wasn't around at practice or in the locker room or at pregame or whatever we're doing, you would notice that she's not there. And that means a lot.
She's gained your respect and the respect of her teammates.
So. For sure, for sure.
But the walk-ons, they have a chip on their shoulder when they come in.
Some do. Some do. Some do. I had a walk-on 100 years ago that, like, didn't want to go to class and didn't want to work hard. And I remember saying to her one time, listen, I'll put up with so-and-so doing this, but not you. So you got 2 more weeks, and then you're out. And her life changed completely, and she was a different person from then on to today.
What kind of impression do you think your walk-ons have on you after they leave?
Well, first of all, they come here with no expectations. And, you know, the day that we brought T into the office and said we were giving you a scholarship, her reaction makes it more worthwhile than anything she might do on the floor. So how she paid you back by the way she reacted, that means a lot. And when she leaves, she'll always be able to tell everybody, yeah, you know, I was on a team that won 100 straight games.
That's going to do it for us this week. We hope you enjoyed the Geno Auriemma Show presented by UConn Health. For upcoming show dates and times, make sure to check out sny.tv/UConn. Thanks for watching.